Hey, busy crafters, welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you're returning. My name is Jessica, and I hope that you guys had a very Merry Christmas with all your loved ones, and you guys had a safe and wonderful holiday. This is not going to be a Christmas video, and this is not going to be a winter video. This is something entirely, completely different. So this is one and only project, and this is the first project, project number one. Now, Sunflower Tasha DIY, my friend Tasha, with Sunflower Tasha DIY, she sent me this photo and asked if I could recreate it. And so I took the challenge. So what we're doing here is I don't have regular cups. All of my cups right now are sublimation cups. So this cup is going to be sublimated on. It's going to have a 3D cow face on it, and it's going to be epoxy resin. Now, this is the first time that I'm ever doing any of this. So if I mess up, it's your fault. I'm just saying. Not you. Move to the side. No, move to the side. Okay, you. It's your fault. No, this cup turned out absolutely amazing. So what I did is I take a sublimation cup. This cup is already, it's sublimation ready. And I do the regular thing of sublimating on it. I picked out a purple cow print, and I clean the cup with alcohol, and then I put the print down. I always do my cups upside down, just so that way, because the cups on the bottom kind of curve in a little tiny bit, I try to do it upside down, and then there you go. So I'm going ahead and using heat resistant tape. Now, a lot of crafters or a lot of people who do sublimation, they say you don't need that much tape and you don't need the sleeves. I personally like using that much tape because it makes sure everything stays down, and I like using the sleeves. So here I did the sleeves and it popped out, so I had to use a different sleeve because the cup moved and the bottom of the cup wasn't going to be covered in the sleeve, and so that's why we had to do the extra one. So I just take my handy dandy heat gun and I shrink wrap it, in the sleeve. The sleeve for me, I like it also because it also protects my heat press from any inks that may bleed through, and that is why I like the sleeve. You may not need it. Who knows? Me personally, I need it. I use it. So I go ahead and I press the cup for 90 seconds. Then I have to do a 160 turn on it and press it for another 30 seconds at the temperature of 347 degrees. Yeah, 347 degrees, 90 seconds, turn, and do another 30 seconds. So now I'm taking everything off, and look it, there is the cup. I let the cup cool down completely before I started messing with it. So now I have this culture sculpt. And what it is it is epoxy glue, or it's epoxy. So make sure you are wearing gloves. You are wearing, respiratory mask. It does have a smell to it, a slight smell, not bad. And I did wear the goggles. Am I doing overkill? Maybe. But I have asthma, and even though the epoxy resin that I use for the cup, the liquid stuff, it still has a slight smell to it, and it did affect my asthma when I decided to not wear the mask. So from that point forward, I will be wearing the mask. Now, this is Culture Sculpt. It is an epoxy clay. It is very light, very fluffy, and you have to do 2 parts, just like any epoxy. I did 1 ounce balls each, so that's 2 ounces together, and you have to mix it extremely, extremely well. I was fascinated with the fact that this stuff is very light, it's very fluffy, it is not hard at all, and so it got mixed very well because I was just like, woohoo. So I had to actually buy another scale because that scale that I've had for many years broke. And so, yeah, had to buy another scale. So here I am. I'm just going ahead and putting on the cup the clay. Now, I did not put anything under it because it will automatically stick to the cup. Once it's dry, it's pretty firm on there, but we are going to cover it with the liquid epoxy. And so, yeah, I'm doing the nose now. So when Tasha asked me if I'm able to do this, I was going through some stuff. My mom was actively passing away. She actually, a few days later is when she actually passed away. About a week later, I think. But I tried to just be like, no, it's too much of, it's too advanced for me. And when she said that she would make the nose and the ears, then I was like, well, let me see what I can do. And I did some research, and I sat there for probably about 4 or 5 hours looking at the different cups that are 3D. And to tell you the truth, they were not that advanced to me, and it was something to take my mind off of the situation that was approaching my family very fast. So thank you so much, Tasha. You have really helped me through a lot. You have no idea how much you've helped me through. Now, if you're not familiar with Sunflower Tasha DIYs, go on over. I will link her channel in the description box below, because she is really sweet. She's really kind, and she did help me through this. So I was able to focus on something new, and now that I've tried it, I absolutely fell in love with it. I'm thinking of multiple other things to do with this culture scope, and I don't think that, or culture scope, yeah, and I don't think that I bought enough. So now that I know that I like it, I'm going to have to buy a lot more and all that stuff. So again, thank you so much, Tasha. So now I did the ears. I'm trying to get everything as close to possible as, I'm trying to get everything, measured properly. Like, I want the ears to be the same. I don't want, and you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. So now the cups that she sent me in the beginning, they have a little bit of horns on them. So that's what I did here, is I'm just going ahead and putting the cow horns on them. I'm thinking the next cup, I might make it have hair in the front. I'm thinking so, because that would be amazing. So I just go ahead and make the horns, and now I'm making the tail. I did 1 ounce balls each with the culture scope, and I don't think I need that much. I ended up throwing a lot away. So now I know next time, instead of doing 1 each, maybe I'll do a half of each and just have, 1 ounce ball together. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing here. Now, when the clay is on there, and I call it clay because that's what it is, I guess. I don't even know where it's at right now. This craft room office. Oh, here it is. Yeah, it's a sculpting epoxy, and it's a 2-part sculpting epoxy. And it even says right there, perfect for 3D projects. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to give texture to the tail right now, and then I have to let it... Okay, so now I'm taking a little bit of water, and I am just smoothing out any creases or anything like that. Now, these gloves that I got off of Amazon. They were a little bit on the bigger side. They are large, but they kind of gave a little bit of texture to the nose, which was kind of cool because cows do have a little bit of texture to their snout. And now I made the little holes, and I'm just dipping my finger in a little bit of water and then trying to smooth it out. Now, one of the horns did go a little bit. I tried to have it as close to the other one as possible, but I guess during the night it kind of or when I left it alone, it kind of just fell back into place. But that's okay. This is my very first time doing any of this. Doing a 3D cup, number 1, and doing epoxy glaze on it, number 2. But I went down that rabbit hole, guys, and now I want to do so many different more cups. It's not even funny. So if this is something that you are actually interested in and you want to order one of these cups and everything, go ahead and email me or even comment here. I would prefer it to go through email. But, yeah. I'm just saying, this was fun. It was relaxing, and it helped me out through a lot. So yeah, this isn't your normal after Christmas video. This is, we're trying something new. Let's do this. So I'm just making sure that it's where it needs to be. So that is what it looks like right now. And this is before paint. It is completely dried. It is hardened onto the cup. Nothing moves. It is absolutely wonderful. And yeah. So now what we're going to do is we're going to paint the pieces that we have. So with the snout part, I painted the snout in ballet slipper from Waverly. Yeah, Waverly. It's right there. I really need to get this whole craft room office cleaned because, guys, it looks like, Tornado Jessica just rolled through here. And yeah, it's me. It's terrible. But so I go ahead and paint the snout and the inside of the ears with the ballet slipper from Waverly. It is chalk paint. And I've seen a lot of people, they use any paint that they like. So there's no special paint. There's no special anything, really. And so that's what I'm doing here. Ballet slipper on the snout and the inside of the ears. Now, to match that color that's on the cow itself or the cup itself, kind of got crazy. But then I went ahead and painted the horns with this professional heavy body acrylic paint in white. I couldn't find chalk paint, so I just, got this paint. It's pretty thick. It's nice. It does what it needs to do. I do have to go ahead and I go through a lot of white chalk paint. So that's what I'm doing here, is I'm just painting the horns of the cow. Yeah, the cow. And then I was like, okay, it's looking a little weird. Like, how is it actually going to look? I printed this off, or cut it. Yeah, it was cut. So I cut this off of my Cricut. I just went into the design space and, said eyes. These ones turned out really cute. They got little eyelashes. I was going to center it, but they decided right there that's where it wants to be. So I was like, son of a goat biscuit. And I had to take some more of the acrylic paint and paint in the little eye parts because it went over some of the purple. And so, yeah, now I'm like, oh my goodness. And now it took me a couple coats, but it turned out absolutely cute. This cup is adorable. It is really, I really, really like it. What can I say? And I'm not saying it just because I'm the one who made it. No, I'm saying it because I actually do like it. I have other animals in mind. I have other scenery in mind. And I am going to have to order more epoxy clay. Sculpting epoxy. That's what it is. And so now I painted that in there. Now I'm just going ahead and doing another coat on the horn. And then it gets tricky. It gets super duper tricky because the purple that's on the cup, even though it says purple, it does have a fuchsia thing to it. So I just started mixing up a bunch of paints. I put in a little bit of the lavender, and then I did some fuchsia, and then I just started mixing paint until I thought that it was as close to the color of the spots on the cup. And that's what I'm doing. Could I replicate this paint again? Probably not. No, I don't think I could. Not without losing some marbles. Which I probably already have. But then I was like, oh no, it needs to be a little bit darker because that's a little bit too bright. So I added black, and then I'm adding more fuchsia, and then I'm adding more purple. And then I'm like, oh my goodness, what did I do here? What even color is this on the cup? They said it's purple. When it got printed out, it doesn't look anything like purple. I checked my printer, and my printer is just fine. So it's not the printer that made it look like that color. So then I went back to the original print, and I was like, oh my goodness. It actually does look like that. It's just a little bit darker than it. So, yeah. This is where it gets interesting. But wait till you see after the epoxy. Everything blends in so beautifully. Everything worked out so amazing. And you can't even tell that I went into crazy mode and then just started adding a bunch of colors to it. And here I am trying to add, like, okay, then I'm like, no, that's a little too pink. I actually end up giving up and being like, this is it. This is how it's going to be. I'll do better on the next one. I'll do better on the next one. But it turned out very, very close to what is actually on the cup. So even though on the description it says purple, it is purple, but it's more like a fuchsia purple. Like it's a cross between a pinky and a purple. So now I'm going to start painting the ears. Now this is where we have to get extremely careful. There is culture sculpt all over the cup itself. I did not like that, but I had to just let it sit there, you know, because when you're playing with it and then you're putting it on the cup, your fingers touch the rest of the cup. I always clean my cups with alcohol before I sublimate on them, and I did that after I got the paint dried. I took a Q-tip and a paper towel, and I just, around the raised areas, the 3D areas, I did re-clean the cup with my alcohol. And then that was around it, and then I wet down a paper towel with the alcohol, and I cleaned the cup because I want the cup to be shiny. I want the cup to look like it's clean. So I go ahead and I paint the ears, and now I'm going to paint the tail. And I think I could have did a little bit better on the tail. That's just my opinion. It turned out quite nice, but I'm having like I'm having like ideas just running through my mind right now, and it's just like boom, 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 boom. So I am going to say not too shabby for my very first try. So see, right here, it looks like the ears and the tail are a little bit lighter than the spots on the cup. But wait, just wait. This cup turns out absolutely amazing. I've showed many different people, and they're asking me, where'd you get this? And I was like, I made it. And they are absolutely like, oh my goodness, seriously. So this is what it looks like without the epoxy. Now, it's cute. Let me know what you guys think. I know this is just one project. I know it takes a little bit of time, but I want to show you guys, you know, step by step. So now it's on the cup spinner, and I'm mixing up the epoxy. Now, once again, I am wearing my respirator mask. I am wearing goggles, and I am wearing gloves. Now, even though the epoxy that I'm using right now says that it is non-toxic and odorless, it still has a smell to it, and I'm not taking chances of it because it can burn your skin. It can. A lot of people who are doing cups, they don't give that warning. So I'm letting you guys know. Take safety caution when using epoxy. Am I afraid of epoxy? No, I just went down to Hobby Lobby today. It's the day after Christmas. This is coming out of Friday. But I am letting you guys know that it is, even though it can be dangerous, if you take the proper steps to protect yourself, then you're going to be absolutely 100% fine, okay? And so I went down to Hobby Lobby today after Christmas, and I did buy some more molds. I got Christmas presents that I think I'm going to go ahead and show you guys all my Christmas presents. Pretty happy with them, so that'll probably be Monday if nothing else comes up. But here I am. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to apply the epoxy. Now, this is the first time I'm doing it. This is the very first time that I'm doing this. So I wanted to get inside the nostrils. So I did paint the inside of the nostrils black as well. I don't think I showed that on camera. But now I'm going ahead and turning it. I wanted it to turn towards me. And I had a pretty even layer on the cup. And my husband's all like, oh, well, there's a little bit here, a little bit here. It's a little bit too much. So then I went ahead and was like, oh, you're right. So I tried to wipe off some. And that's where I kind of messed up a little bit. So even though I had an even layer, it was a little too much. I tried to take off some. And some areas were thinner than other areas. but we do a second coat and you really can't tell. Now I did put mica powder in that epoxy, and it was the white. I think it was the white. Yeah, the white shimmer powder. It's called mica powder, and I have 63 colors here that I got off of Amazon, and yeah. So some of the molds that I bought from Hobby Lobby, I do have a chess set. I do have the checker set. There is like the heart, that's a puzzle piece that says best friends that you can put best friends on or anything like that. So I'm not going to make you watch me do the second coat, but this cup did take about 3 days because I started it, then I had to let it dry overnight, and then I painted everything, and it only took, 30 minutes for everything to be completely dry. And then I did the epoxy, and I had to let it roll overnight in a heated room, so I had to close off the office doors. And the heater in here really makes this office get really hot. Right there, when I reheated the cup and I started to take the epoxy, it kind of smeared the ink. So that was a learning curve right there. It's like, okay, it smeared the ink. Now, as you see that the epoxy is on there, that the paint color that I painted the tail and the ears is becoming very, very close to the, what do you call that thing? The color on the cup, the spots. So, this cup is sublimated on, 3D epoxy, vinyl, and the gloss epoxy. So now I'm telling you right there, you see my hands go whoop. I'm letting you know right there that it has to go ahead and spin overnight in a warm room. So this is the next day. It's still spinning. And look how close that got to that color. I tell you, God is good. I could not believe it. Amazing. So you can see right there that a little bit of the color came off. So now there it is with one coat of epoxy on it. And I'm going to go ahead and do the second coat. So now it's done. The second coat was already done. I did not make you guys watch it because you guys got the point. Now I'm just going ahead and taking off the extra epoxy around the top so that the lid can sit on it. And of course the bottom. So that way the cup doesn't just, fall over. We're not cow tipping here. We're not going to do that. So we want the cup to lay flat or sit flat. I did put a sticker on the bottom of my cups. And it is just, the Busy Housewife. It's got my YouTube handle. Because that's what I do. I'm the Busy Housewife. So I'm just taking off the extra on the bottom and on the top. Now something that I'm going to do with the cups in the future that I didn't do with this cup, because like I said, very first cup, very proud of it and everything. But what I'm going to do in the future is I'm going to make sure that I epoxy the bottom as well. That's something that I think would be much better than, it not. But that's just my opinion. But I do see a lot of cup makers epoxying the bottom. I didn't think about it, but it is what it is. Very first cup though, guys. And so right here I'm sitting going, okay, it's still not sitting right. The top is not sitting right. What's going on? Oh, there's that little piece. This is clear. And another thing about this epoxy that I have is that it says that it's bubble resistant. So even though I shot it with the heat gun to make sure there's no bubbles, it's not supposed to have bubbles anyways, but who wants to take chances? Epoxy is expensive. So here is the final reveal of it being done. She's so cute. I fell in love with this cup. Now this cup isn't mine. This cup is going to somebody else already. This cup is already spoken for. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And if you are interested in a cup like this, go ahead and email me. My email address will also be in the description box below. And so what do you guys think of my very first cup? Like, I think it turned out absolutely adorable. It turned out absolutely amazing. And I have gotten a lot of compliments on it, but I want to know what you guys think. So I want to take the moment to thank every single one of my subscribers. You guys are absolutely the best, and I cannot thank you guys enough for sticking around, being with me through some tough times. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you guys. Go ahead and follow me on all of my social medias. The links to them will be in the description box below. And if you haven't already, I do hope that you would subscribe. So here's the part where I'm saying, subscribe! It helps me out and it's free to you. And what are you waiting for? We're crazy over here and you're not going to be, you won't regret it. I can guarantee you that. Well, I can't guarantee anything except for that I will probably laugh. But I want to thank you guys for watching, clicking on this video, and, clicking on this channel. Until I see you on the next one, God bless you and have a wonderful week. Bye.